Today's WNEM TV5 Morning Extra is brought to you by Roof Max of Midland.
Thanks so much for joining us live for TV5 Morning Extra. Remember, if you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, like and follow and comment on the stories that matter most to you. I'm Christine Winter. Lauren is on assignment. We'll check in with her. Let's go, though, first to get a check of those temperatures from First Alert meteorologist Matthew Mondro.
Yeah, Christine, the cold weather still just the big story here in the forecast going forward. And this morning, we've still had sub-zero wind chills. Some of the coldest wind chills have been down to about -15, currently showing -17 in Port Sanilac. We will see wind chills only up to about 0 or 1 degree by the afternoon here today. So again, staying cold for the entirety of today. It's really going to feel a lot like yesterday, so you'll still want to have all of the same cold weather gear. Even for students at the bus stops this morning, they'll want that same cold weather gear as yesterday. Mid-teens on the way for the afternoon, about 15 for the high. Mostly cloudy today. We do expect just a couple of flurries to move through. Now, as far as the cold weather goes, there's an extreme cold watch for Iosco, Ogama, and Roscommon counties for tonight. Some of those wind chills tonight there could drop down to about -15 or -20, really just indicating that, again, more cold weather sticking with us. Before your drive this morning, not expecting any major issues out there. Looks pretty good around the Bay region, the Thumb. A couple of crashes popping up, indicating some slick spots near Flint and Burton this morning, so just drive safely. But again, there's no major concerns for the morning drive. Christine, back to you.
All right, developing this morning, the cold weather is not keeping striking nurses and caseworkers away from the picket line in Genesee County. Many walked off their jobs at Henry Ford Genesis Hospital in Grand Blanc Township last September in their push for a new contract that they say recognizes their worth.
Definitely strength in numbers, warmth in numbers, support in numbers, and that's just like everything all day is sticking together.
Nurse case manager Lisa Edwards tells TV5 the strikers continue to find support, especially when it's cold outside.
I feel like the worse the weather is, the more honks we get, and we appreciate that because it truly, truly does help us keep walking.
Today marks the strike's 150th day. Now, in a statement, a Henry Ford spokesperson says hospital representatives and Teamsters leaders are meeting regularly and engaging in constructive and respectful dialogue. Still unfolding, the protests against ICE and custom enforcement in places like Minneapolis are inspiring a local commissioner to make another push for Bay City to become a so-called welcoming city. Now, that resolution was brought by Christopher Runberg after the deadly shooting by federal agents. Last week, the city commission passed the resolution, but Mayor Christopher Gerard vetoed it.
In Minnesota, that's what happened was in a sanctuary city. And so what did that really prevent? Obviously, there's been 2 incidents. I don't necessarily agree with what's going on there at all, right? I've seen the videos. I have my own concerns, but I have to look at the bigger picture for the residents of the city of Bay City.
He says he will wait for the resolution language to be introduced before making a decision. Now, a group of people plan to rally today in Saginaw to raise awareness, as we mentioned, of ICE enforcement in Minnesota. That group will also honor VA nurse Alex Preddy, who was shot and killed by federal agents last Saturday. Now, the group will be meeting in front of the VA Medical Center on Weiss Street this afternoon at 3 o'clock. Former state representative Jewel Jones has pleaded guilty after bringing a gun into Covenant Hospital. Saginaw police say back in August they were called out to the hospital to help security officers who found Jones with 2 guns inside. Jones' plea canceled a scheduled jury trial. He is scheduled to be sentenced on March 2nd. Local universities are typing up a new lesson plan to help keep new teachers here in Michigan. The collaboration aims to improve teacher preparation, quality, and recruitment. Staff at Central Michigan University in Mount Pleasant say they are going for a more local approach.
We're going to be working with our district partners, local teachers, as well as our faculty to explore how we can better prepare future teachers for leading classroom practices, such as small group instruction, attending to various students' needs when they need intervention.
He says one area the grant does not address, though, is teacher salaries, adding that state per pupil funding continues to rise with considerations at the state level to offer more competitive wages. In more local news, Consumers Energy wants to transform the site of a former coal plant into a battery energy storage system. The utility is asking for a special use permit for its property in Bay County's Hampton Township. Now, that project would take up about 5 acres of the 74-acre site that previously housed the Weddock generating facility on Weddock Highway. It's a 45-megawatt facility that would use 36 lithium-ion batteries and into its substation at the Karn Generation facility. The Township Planning Commission will take up that proposal at its meeting on Thursday, February 12th. In a health alert now, January is National Blood Donor Month. The blood supplies are critically low right now. The American Red Cross, as we know, has declared a severe shortage after supplies dropped 35% in just the past month. If you'd like to make a donation to help save lives, you can check in with Versity Blood Donation Centers in Midland and Saginaw and Bay City, as well as the American Red Cross Donation Center on Grand Traverse Street in Flint. It's estimated 3 in 5 people are eligible to donate blood, but only 3 in 100 actually do. There is a free screening for early cancer detection we want you to know about. It's happening Saturday. The National Minority Quality Forum is holding a cancer community town hall and mini clinic in Flint. You'll be able to hear discussions on prevention, early detection, and efforts at protecting your long-term health. There will also be vaccines, health education, and water distribution. That event Saturday is happening at 11 a.m. at the Flint Development Center on MLK Avenue. Look for a link to register and hot links at WNEM.com. And you are joining us live for TV5 Morning Extra. We are going to take a very quick break. When we come back, Lauren will join us live with a look at this year's start to Zender Snowfest. Such a big deal for Frankenmuth. That's happening today. She'll check in with organizers and snow sculptors next. And as always, if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or watching us on Instagram, like and comment on the stories most important to you. Matthew's First Alert Forecast is next.
And for Snowfest here, we are going to be tracking some cold weather, and the cold weather certainly is beneficial for that because the carvers don't have to worry about any of their sculptures melting away. But of course, if you'll be heading out there, just be sure you're bundled up. In Frankenmuth this morning, we've had sub-zero wind chills. They're only going to reach up to about 0 or 1 degree by the afternoon. The actual air temp only up to about 15 by this afternoon in Frankenmuth. But again, cold enough that you don't have to worry about anything melting there at Snowfest. You see these wind chills here in the graph only going up to about 0 or 1 degree for the afternoon. So feeling pretty much exactly like yesterday did. And in that First Alert Super 7-day forecast, we do have even colder weather on the way. Take a look at this. 12 tomorrow, 9 coming in on Friday. We actually even have a low of -6 for tomorrow night. So by Friday morning, Thursday night to Friday morning, very cold start to the day. These wind chills should easily reach -15, if not even colder than that. So that should be the coldest morning of this week. Going into next week, too, on Monday, we do have a chance of snow showers there. That system's still quite a few days out, but we are seeing at least some decent agreement for some light snow to move in from the west on Wednesday. But you'll also notice these temperatures after the deep freeze this week. We're still below freezing even next week, but those temps will start to come back up into the 20s. As far as today goes, though, it's day number 11 since we've had an above freezing temperature in mid-Michigan. So the last time that happened was Saturday the 17th. That number should be 14 by the Saturday. We'll likely still add to it even next week, too. And the long-range temperature outlook still suggests that we stay below freezing even into the early portions of February. So this winter weather and these winter temps certainly are going to be sticking around. But also good news in that regard for our ice fishers. You don't have to worry about any of the ice melting away here. The ice coverage right now doing much better than the same time last year. And personally, I've seen a lot of ice fishers out there already enjoying the ice that we do have even on the Saginaw River. So if that is something that you do, again, you don't have to worry about this ice going anywhere anytime soon, thanks to this cold weather sticking around. But after the cold weather and the drier weather this week, again, Christine, looks like a few snow showers coming in around Monday.
All right. The wait is finally over. One of Mid-Michigan's favorite winter festivals is back in Frankenmuth. We're talking about Snowfest, with show-stopping snow and ice sculptures set to take over the city this week. TV5's Lauren Piesco is live there now, braving the elements to give us a preview.
Yeah, Christine, Matthew, good morning. Frankenmuth is celebrating 35 years of Snowfest this week. It all officially kicks off here later this morning. I am joined now by Jesse Sexton with the Snowfest Committee. Jesse, good morning.
Good morning. How are we doing?
We are so happy to be here, Jesse. We are standing in front of the massive world-class
All right, we apologize. We'll try to get back to that a little bit later. Developing this morning, Michigan has now joined most of the country in allowing high school athletes to sign name, image, and likeness deals. The Michigan High School Athletic Association approved those new rules yesterday. That means they could potentially profit off of things like social media posts, autographs, appearances, and merchandise. But some parents we spoke with, they say they're skeptical of the decision.
When you're putting money on sports, it's going to become more sports-related, education second. I don't think that's a smart move.
There are some limits in place: no school logos, no school involvement, no coaches, boosters, or teams arranging deals, and no pay for play. Deals also cannot be tied to wins, statistics, or wearing a certain jersey. Also, every deal has to be approved by the MHSAA before money changes hands. The changes take effect immediately. Schools, though, can set stricter limits. Across Michigan now, as more drivers switch to electric and hybrid vehicles, the state's gas tax revenue is shrinking. And now the Michigan Department of Transportation is looking for a new way to fund road repairs. Now, right now, drivers in Michigan pay about 48 cents per gallon in state taxes. But that doesn't impact everyone equally. MDOT says people with older, less efficient vehicles pay more than those who can afford newer ones. Additionally, electric vehicles do not pay that gas tax at all. Instead, owners pay higher registration fees each year.
So how can we replace the fuel tax? How can we generate the right amount of revenue? And more importantly, how can we fairly distribute that collection across the residents of the state?
Paul McDonald with MDOT says that answer may be in replacing the gas tax with a road usage charge. And that would be based on the miles you drive. There are a few options to track the fee, like odometer readings, GPS tracking, or car apps. The Sloan Museum of Discovery in Flint is showing its appreciation for friends for Galentine's Day. More than 70 vendors will take part. There'll be activities like karaoke and yoga sessions, massages, and more. Now, you do have to be 18 or older to join that celebration. It's happening Friday, February 18th. You can get tickets in hot links at WNEM.com. And we want to check back in with Matthew because temperatures are cold and get a little colder this week.
Yeah, so tomorrow and Friday, even a couple of degrees colder than today, but wind chills this morning still sub-zero, and we'll hold on to wind chills only up to about 0 by this afternoon. So feeling a lot like yesterday did, so you'll just want to have all of that cold weather gear ready to go for your Wednesday.
Layer up. All right. We appreciate it, and thank you so much for joining us live for TV5 Morning Extra. We look forward to seeing you right back here at 9. Have a great morning.